What's happening, y'all? It's Resident 47 back here again. Today, I'm here to do a discography ranking video. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, and it's going to be on one of my favorite rock bands of all time. This band is from LA, and it's a punk rock group, and the band I'm talking about is L7. Now, this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while, but with the news of the recently departed Jennifer Finch passing away, uh, I've held off on it, but at the same time, this also given me the kick in the ass to get this video done. And before I get into the ranking, I gotta talk about how I discovered L7. I discovered them back in 2016, and I was at Vintage Stock one day, and I picked up two things. I picked up Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on PS2, and I picked up Gangstar Daily Operations CD. And I went back home. I put GTA San Andreas in the PS3. I had the backwards compatible version that could play PS2 games. And there was one song on that game that I heard that I really loved, and it was "Pretend We're Dead." That was my first time hearing L7, and I love that song so much. I would always try to get to hear it. It was on the Radio X channel. That was the radio station in game for the rock music. So I would always try to get to hear that song. Carjacking somebody, changing it to Radio X, see if they were playing the song, And in the in the booklet for San Andreas, they have all the radio stations with all the songs they play, and that was also really cool. So I looked up the song on YouTube to try to figure out what album it was off of. It was on Bricks Are Heavy. So I listened to that album and I loved it. After that, I went down the rabbit hole of the band's discography, and man, one of my favorite bands of all time to date. So before I get into this video, I want to run down the members of the band. The members of L7 are Danita Sparks on guitar and vocals, Susie Gardner on guitar and vocals, Dee Plakis on drums, and of course Jennifer Finch on bass and vocals. Rest in peace. So got 7 albums to go through. I'm just gonna start right now with number 7. And honestly, starting off with the only album that I think they have that's bad, that I just don't like, and the album is called Slap Happy. This came out in 1999. Then the band was at a weird point in their career at this point because they just left a major label, Reprise Records, and they were independent. You can see in that purple text right there, Wax Tadpole Records. That's what they were calling themselves when they were independent. And this is not a very good album, in my opinion. The songwriting here is pretty whack. Some pretty bad songs in here, or some mediocre ones as well. But there are like 2 or 3 songs in here that I do like. I like Stick to the Plan. That's probably my favorite song on this album. I like Long Green. That was pretty good. And I believe Mantra Down was also a good song. So this is my number 7, my least favorite L7 album, Slap Happy, coming in. Definitely could have been better. They had more potential to make some better songs. L7 is a very talented band, and they were just 3 members at this point. It was just Danita, Susie, and Dee. So that's my number 7, my least favorite L7 album, Slap Happy, came out in 1999. Next up, coming at number 6, is their self-titled album, L7, from 1988. This is an album I'm still not fully on board with, but I like it a lot better than Slap Happy. There's more songs in here that I enjoy. This is the band still trying to find their sound, there are the songs in here I do like are Bite the Wax Tadpole. That's one of my favorite L7 songs. Cat o' Nine Tails, that's also really good. Snake Handler, that's dope. Cool Out, It's Not You. So I like about half this album. So I'm still trying to give it a chance for it to grow on me. I liked it more now than after I first heard it. So that's my this is before Dee Plakis as well. I need to look up who the drummer was on here. Roy Kautsky. That's the name of the drummer. And my favorite song in this album, forgot to say it, it's Bite the Wax Tadpole. So that's my number 6, the self-titled album, L7 from 1988. All right, now at number 5. This album is much better. This is after the band was really established. Well, way later after they were established, because this is their last album. This came out in 2019. Scatter the Rats. Very dope album right here. Great songwriting, great song selections. This is the band with all four members once again, and this is probably their last album now that Jennifer Finch is not with us here anymore. And what a way to go for them to go out. You got songs like Burn Baby, Prototype. That's probably my favorite song on this album. Stadium West, Murky Water Cafe, Ouija Board Lies, Garbage Truck, Up on the Ice, Cool About Easy, and the title track Scatter the Rats. Great stuff right here. Dope album cover. They got them with the leather jackets on with the L7 logo. Very cool. So that's my number 5 is Scatter the Rats from 2019. Great year for rock music also. All right, now we're getting into the heavy hitters. Next up is at number 4 is 1994, Hungry for Stink. This is a classic album right here. And this came out in 1994, like I said, which was a big year. Thinking for alternative music, you're thinking about Holes, Live Through This. You're thinking about Green Day's Dookie. This came out right in the summer of that year. And so damn good. So many crazy good songs in here. Like Andre, that's a classic. Baggage, Can I Run, so dope. The Bomb, RP Jennifer Finch, she sings that. Questioning My Sanity. Stuck Here Again, which is my favorite song on this album. Fuel My Fire, Shirley. Man, so many good songs in here. Only thing I don't like about this album is the album cover. I think it's pretty fucking weird. But great album. Classic. They played Stuck Here Again on 120 Minutes during this era. They played Lollapalooza 94 during this era. Great year for the band. Great year for rock music as well in general. 1994, Hungry for Stink. Next is at number 3. This, in my opinion, is their most underrated album. I love this record. And I think it deserves a lot more praise and love. It's The Beauty Process, Triple Platinum. This came out in 1997. Now, this album is after Jennifer Finch left the group for some personal reasons. So they brought in Gail Greenwood on bass and to cover for her. Man, so many sleeper tracks in here that are really good, like Drama, Off the Wagon, Moonshine, Bitter Wine, The Masses Are Asses, one of my favorite L7 songs, one of their heaviest. Bad Things, Must Have More, which is my favorite song on this album. Lorenza Glada Alessandra, great closing track. I love this album. Some of the heaviest songs are on this album, like I said. Masses Are Asses, Drama's pretty heavy. The closing track, the Lorenza Glada song, that's pretty heavy. Don't sleep on this album. This is very fucking good stuff right here. The Beauty Process, Triple Platinum, 1997. All right, next at number 2, runner-up, the Silver Medal album. For the majority of people, this is their best album, and who might argue with it? Number 2 is Bricks Are Heavy. Fucking classic. One of the most iconic rock albums of the 90s. Got the L7 hands tatted on the legs right there. Got the flames with the disc. That's so dope. Man, legendary album. This deserves to be talked about the same way people talk about Nevermind, Dirt, and Super Unknown, etc. You got Wargasm, a classic opening track, Scrap, Pretend We're Dead, the song I got introduced to, Diet Pill, Everglade, One More Thing, my favorite song on the album, Mr. Integrity, Monster, Shitless, classic. Fucking amazing album. Like, this is one of the greatest rock albums of the 90s, as I said. Deserves to be talked about with the heavy hitters. It is a heavy hitter. And legendary album. Don't really know what's going on in the album cover, but you can kind of make out the band in the background. Classic album. This came out in 1992. Another amazing year for rock music. You had Alice in Chains' Dirt. You had Stone Temple Pilots' Core, Babes and Twins, Fontanelle. And then, of course, you have this album. So that's my number two, Bricks Are Heavy. And number one, the only album left, my favorite L7 album of all time, is Smell the Magic. Class, man, I love this album so much. This is the 2020 reissue that came out. And then you got the mosh pit and the with the layout right there. This is my favorite L7 album. I love this. One of my favorite albums of all time across all genres. You know, starts off with Shove, my favorite L7 song, Fast and Frightening, classic, right on through Death Wish, Till the Wheels Fall Off. And actually, fuck that. Till the Wheels Fall Off is my favorite L7 song. Then you get Broomstick, Packing a Rod, American Society, Just Like Me. All 9 songs are highlights on this album. This is a masterpiece. This was recorded at Reciprocal Recording with Jack and Dino. You know, the same producer and studio that laid down Nirvana's Bleach, Babes and Twins, Spanking Machine, around the same time that this album was recorded. I love this album. I love the album cover with the blue tint to it. They're standing in front of like the LA skyline. Smell the Magic, just amazing classic album. And that is all 7 of L7 studio albums ranked. Thank y'all for watching. And make sure to like, comment what your ranking would be if you disagree, or if you just want to talk about how much you love this band. And